Yeah, so I saw Transformers 1 in the theater on opening weekend. I'm pretty sure it was opening weekend. The buzz was it wasn't going to do that well, and it might not be in the theaters that long. So if I didn't get on it, I might miss it. The marketing campaign was trash. It was just abysmal. They had that Rolling Stones song. It made it look like a goofy like comedy, road trip movie, and I know that didn't resonate with a lot of the old school Transformers people. But then a couple people I know saw an early screening and they were like, "It's really good." So I was like, "Well, I'll do my bit. I'll go see it." And the I was getting ready to go like the week before, and I happened to mention to my wife, "It's like, hey, do you want to go see this Transformers movie? Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson do some voice work for it." And she was like, "Sure, cool." Saturday comes, we're going to a matinee because I'm cheap, and we're rolling in. I just happened to like mention, say to her, I was like, thanks for coming with me to see this. She's like, oh sure. She's like, I love Chris Hemsworth. And then the wheels in my head start turning, and I'm like, oh no, she thinks this is a live action movie starring Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson. So we're getting out of the car and we're walking up. I'm like, hey, look, this is a cartoon, and Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson just do voice work. And I know I mentioned that I wouldn't have misrepresented that when I asked her, and she paused for like a quick second. It wasn't like it was like a half a second. She's like, "That's cool, I'm in." And she ended up really liking the movie because it had a good story and it wasn't hard to follow, and it was really well, like extraordinarily well done. If you haven't seen Transformers One, I think it's still on Paramount or it's on one of the streaming services. Go check it out because it's really well done. Um, they put a lot of effort into it. You could tell they spent money on everything on that. So, anyway, so what I got here is the Transformers One Studio Series. I take that back. Transformers Studio Series, Transformers One Alpha Trion. That's a lot. Anyway, Hasbro does not skimp on the titles. I'll tell you that. So there's he is. He looks good. I like the color of the like the gunmetal plastic, and I really like the colors, the purples and stuff. It all looks really good. And you got the side there, Alpha Trion. The back, Alpha Trion, the wisest and most noble of the primes, is awoken by Orion Pax. Okay, great bio, thanks. I was never a big. Obviously, this becomes his tail. I was never a big fan of that. What is that? What? Oh, that's like the moss. That's like like when they wake the bodies up. If you look up here, that's the moss growing on them. Yeah, I would have preferred a cleaner version of this figure where it's all like he got his I don't know what you call that, crown or things that come out of his head, like those were complete. I would like that better. It's fine. It's like I'm not collecting Transformers One figures really. I have a few we'll look at later as a comparison, but um yeah, this probably might be the last one I get. I might get a Lita once. I think it looks like a good bot, just a good figure. Yeah, so let me get this guy open. I'll figure him out so I'm not that bumbling idiot trying to transform him, and we'll get some comparisons. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll get after this. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I got this guy out of the box and in his beast mode, and I like the look of this thing. Um, I never used to like Transformers that turned into animals to begin with because usually they just kind of go on all fours and then you tuck a couple things under panels and that's your alt mode. But I've come around on it, so to speak. Um, this is a good looking like beast. It's this thing has some problems. They were avoidable problems. I don't know why they did some of the things they did, but he looks good. Well, aesthetically, he's got the moss all over him, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I kind of wish I had a clean version of this. We still might get that, but you can tell like We'll get a little closer here. So you can see like they have a lot of the moss painted, but then there's like battle damage panels where it has moss on it that is not painted. Like that's a nice touch there where it's all corroded around the edge, and then like you got down here, and it's not symmetric. Like that's all like damaged. Look it up here. It's all like damaged. Um, it looks good though. I like it. It fits because that's how he was in the movie, which I just watched. Um, it's all down. It's asymmetric. It's not like the same on each panel. It's different. It looks good. We'll go over articulation real quick here. He can look even farther down, and then that's as far as up he goes. He doesn't have any articulation at the shoulders because, for some reason, I don't have it locked in. Hold on. This is okay. I had him. I was messing with him. So these are supposed to tab into there. I was trying to make it make sense, and I can't. So he's only got this articulation up front, and then those little paws articulate. Then, like I said, he's only got articulation like there, and his jaw. He can open his jaw. It actually looks really good, except unless he's eating cereal. So, then the back legs. The back legs only articulate up to where it bangs into the frame, the waist there, and then these have a decent range of motion, and then you have this. So your poses are limited on this thing, unfortunately. I don't know why they did this. This has to tab in. You can untab it. That's what I was doing, but this is gonna knock into that now. Like, I mean, you can do it around it, but I mean, it kind of sucks. We're just gonna tab them back in because that's the way it's supposed to be. And my biggest problem is why this head is like this. So you can untab it, and there's this thing right there is supposed to tab into. I thought it was this, but it's not. It can't be. It's unless. Am I doing something? I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing it wrong, but it has to tab into that. It's the only thing that makes sense because this goes all the way up, and you can't pull this out. There's no hinge here. If this turns here, but there's no hinge here, like to go up and down. So it has to tab into the back of the head here. And when you do that, it basically your head just stuck there. And that's it. That's all you're doing. It's unfortunate. Like I said, nobody's buying this thing to put them in beast mode. And like I said, and the tail articulates, and you can spin this in the peg. All right, we're gonna do that's. I'm less than impressed with this. I like the way it looks. I like the design. I'm hoping to see this again. I just hope they fix this and they do away with this inexplicable tabbing in of the lats underneath. All right, let me grab some comparisons. We'll do some comparisons. Well, okay, comparison time. I got this guy. This is the first one up. This came out, I want to say 2022. I was at Obsessed Fest with my wife in Columbus, Ohio, and I was in the car. She was driving, and I was ordering this. So I don't know when that was. There's a whole story about that convention and kind of the crash and burn of the whole Obsessed network. It's a true crime. If you don't know what it is, it's a true crime like network of podcasts. It disintegrated. It imploded. Anyway, there's like a whole like just wacko story about it. Anyway, I was there with my wife because she's the true crime nut in the family, and anyway, I was able to order this. It was a Hasbro PulseCon, I think, thing. So this is in his space slipper mode. kind of see the robot underneath. It's not bad though. This is that sweet mold. And then I have the Age of the Primes Ultra. Stop saying that. Alpha Trion. Um, this is a better alt mode than this. It looks good. So these are the three like modern era primes. The last one, well, I think there's a Cyberverse Ultra, Alpha Trion, and stop saying Ultra, Alpha Trion, and which I didn't get. I was aware of it, but that's a kid's line. It's not, whatever. And then before that, there was the Titans Return Alpha Trion, which I have somewhere, and it's in a box, probably at the bottom of a bin or something. So didn't I didn't try go searching for it. And then before that was the Future Arts X Goken Alpha Trion, which was it's all die cast action figure. It's wonderful. I do have that too, but that's in another box. And then before that was the 2007 BotCon exclusive Alpha Trion, and that was the one everyone was trying to get. Like when I first started collecting, I was looking for an Alpha Trion, and that was the only one I could see available. This was like 2013, 2014, and that thing was going for big bucks because it was the only game in town. I think it was going for like anywhere between $300 and $800. I know that's a range, but I remember I want to say it was like seven and change, like the one I saw. So anyway, so yeah, these are these guys here. They use the same kind of color plastic between those two, and yeah, it's pretty good. Like, and this is from I did the previous line, so it's slightly different. Is it that different? Yeah, this is a little bluer. Well, this is a little bluer, but all three of them look good. So that's the competition. Um, all right, so I'm gonna get this guy transformed. You know, I think I'm just gonna give up on transformation parts of the videos because I'm not great at it. And that's not to say I'm not great at actually transforming the things. I'm okay at transforming. It's just I let the little things kind of hold me up, like things that don't quite fit right or anything like that, and I end up it ends up like going off screen. I'm trying to figure it out, and I realize and I have no idea how long I've been off screen, and it's terrible. It doesn't really matter because it also gets in the way with what I actually want to talk about, and is the figures in both its modes and or whatever figures I'm looking at, and so I think that's just the way it's gonna go. Anyway, so here's this guy. He's in his Alpha Trion robot mode. I I dig this. I've said it before with the alt mode. I dig this mold. I feel like we'll see this again because it makes a good generic like beast type mold. Um, you can tell all the pieces that make it unique to Transformers One, like the shin pieces and the forearms and the shoulders. All this is swap out. All this is remold. Like this whole piece, it's glued on, but this whole piece is a separate piece from the rest of it. So you have a lot of possibilities here, which I think is we'll see this mold again in one form or another. So let's talk about him himself. He looks like the character from the movie. Who I mean, like a movie figure is a strange thing because they probably, especially for like something like Transformers One, they probably had this character already rendered and psyched out before they made the movie. So they're like, here's the toy, make this a character, in one fashion or another, and that's fine. That actually works. Um, so like he's got a weird little humpback situation going on here. I don't hate that. It's just that it's because it's not a backpack. It's right. It's not a this doesn't fulfill any kind of function for the alt mode. Or it's not hiding anything. It's just part of the character design, which I kind of find fascinating. Um, it looks good though. Like I said, I feel like they have another one or two more characters in mind that maybe this makes more sense. But we get a close up on his face. In there. It looks pretty good. Looks like the character. It does all the. It's got 4 ranges of motion. It's actually pretty great. Shoulders are good, or nice. Everything's nice and tight on this figure. Like, it's another figure where all the proportions are, not proportions, but all the joints are nice and tight. He doesn't have a wrist swivel, but he does swivel at the bicep. He's got that mushroom pig right there, so he does. So he does swivel. He just doesn't have a wrist swivel, which I think that it's going to do what you need it to do. So I think you're okay there. Yeah, it does have a waist swivel. That's good. Real quick though, like, you got these bits that lock your shoulder into place for some inexplicable reason in alt and dog mode. Those are still there. They don't really get in the way in this mold. In this mode. Um, it's fine. See, and then you got universals for hips. Always the best way to go. He does that. He does that. He can work out. He can try out for the cheerleading squad at the Icon football team tryouts. Does have a knee swivel. His knee gets a 90 degree. I don't know. There's no way to cheat it. It's just what it is. The single looks like a single jointed knee. It's fine. Like I said, you're not looking for this guy doing anything dramatic. He's got no ankle tilt and no. The only thing that kind of tilts are his toes. That's for the alt mode, but that'll work if you need to do that. Um, he's got his accessory here. This kind of little like crystalline energon whip type of thing. He has it in the movie. Like all the little these bits here, these come separately, and then his point is those all come separately, and they all glow in the movie. So there's I mean, uh, like I said, this is also his tail, but like, well, I don't like having their weapon as part of their alt modes. Like, you got this with the Bayverse Dinobots, where like a lot of their tails were their weapons too. It's like, what if they lose their weapon? Then he can't transform. He doesn't have his tail, or he doesn't have his horns, or whatever the weapon becomes in his alt mode. There is one little thing that I couldn't figure out until right before I started this segment. If you do this, like part of transformation is like, okay, so this bit comes off, and that goes on, and I could not figure out how to get this to fit together with the horns. Like, he would not. I couldn't do it. It wasn't happening. Like, the horns just in the way, and so I decided just leave this off to the side and mention it, but not let it destroy my piece, so to speak. So this is kind of all right. There it goes. All right. So, and then literally right before I was going to start filming this segment, it occurred to me. Hold on. Why isn't it standing now? Why are you doing this to me? All right. It occurred to me that this plugs into this. So that makes this, well, it's already a parts warmer because of the tail, but that's why this comes off so easy too. And I guess, oh, oh, wait a minute. That don't make any sense. There's ports. There's a port here, a port here, and a port here. Is there a fourth port? Yeah. All right. So these things come out. Okay. And then you can, might as well do it, right? Might as well. This is a little, I don't know how much I like this, but we'll do it. You're going to lose these, right? You're just going to get lost in the sauce, so to speak. All right. Okay. This is going to take way too long, but we got to get through it for the sake of my sanity. And then, okay, underneath. All right, so then you got that going on. It's a little goofy, but it's a thing you can do. So there's that guy. All right, let me get some. We're going to do a bunch of comparisons here next segment. All right, comparison time. Full play for the last time. I've been losing my mind on one little part, and it's all right. So first figure I have is the first I got is that is the Transformers One Studio Series Bumblebee. Fantastic figure. If you don't have it and you're looking for a good Cybertronian mode Bumblebee, that's your one. I kind of hope they do Cliff Jumper, like a repaint for Cliff Jumper in this. Just because I like it so much. And then the next one is another figure I really like is the Arachne, which I did do a video on that nobody saw, but that's okay. No one's gonna see this one either. So there's that one. She's pretty good. She's great and great alt modes once you figure out the hoop thing. And that makes sense. Once it makes sense, it makes sense. How everything kind of foops into the right shape. The last one is the one that's been kind of pissing me off last few minutes. Okay. So I get the is this freaking guy, Sentinel Prime. I bought him because I didn't have a good Sentinel Prime. I had the Titans Return one, and I ended up not liking it very much. So I thought, well, this one looks good. You know, I can have this in my collection of Sentinel Prime, except that he's fucking short. He's too short, and he looks like crap. Like he looks like doesn't look like he's supposed to be in the Studio Series line. He looks like he's supposed to be in this line, which is like the line for kids, the cheaper line. He does do one cool thing that I like, and this is the part that was buggering me the last couple times I tried this segment. It's like it's hard to get this popped out, but you flip that down, flip that up, and suddenly you got his unmasked mode. I think that's great. I think that's terrific. That's pretty great, except he's too goddamn short. All right, so these are these guys. Get these guys out of here. And then we'll see how he measures up to his other Alpha Trion selves. First, we'll go chronological order. First one is I got the A Hero Is Born Alpha Trion, and then we'll put them up against the Age of the Primes Alpha Trion. Both of these are terrific figures. I know this one's hard to get now. It wasn't for a long time. I think I mentioned that. This is the day after Snow began, and he is still available on Hasbro Pulse. In fact, I might order him again because I pre-ordered the DNA upgrade kit for this guy, which looks fantastic. Comes with his staff, comes with everything. I do have another staff that this guy's gonna get that I ordered off of eBay, and it's anyway. But the staff they look the same. They're the Matrix with the weird the head ornament thing. But yeah, these guys. That's what they all look like together, and you can almost see where this would be like the primitive. This would be the primitive, like original 13 primes. I can fit him in that group because that's a pretty wildly different. Like the bot modes on those are wildly different. So I think he would fit in. He might actually go up there, in my showcase for the 13 primes. I'm not sure. Like I said, I reordered. I think I'm gonna get another one of these guys. One's gonna have the upgrade kit, and one's gonna be like A3. The other one will be like the next version of Alpha Trion, and he'll be like the final form. I obsess about things like that all the time. In fact, when I first started collecting about 2013, beginning of 2013, end of 2013, I should say, beginning of 2014, this is one of the characters that I obsessed about, and there wasn't any other Alpha Trions. Eventually, there was the X Goku Future Arts Alpha Trion, which was around $100. When I first started looking at it, it was like 86, and then when I bought it, it was like 117. I still have him somewhere, but I think he's in a sales box. I'm gonna try to sell him next time I do NJCC. But I tried to sell him last time. I wanted too much money for him. Anyway, and then the other one was the 2007 BotCon exclusive, which when I was looking at it was going for big money, anywhere between, depending on the day and the time, 300 or 400 to $800. And yeah, I wasn't biting on that. So I ended up getting the Future Arts one. And then the next one up was the Titans Return in 2016. Yeah, that's right. And I have that one somewhere. It was my son's. I pulled it out of his box, and I think I put it in one of my boxes just for safekeeping, and I don't know where I did with it. But I have it anyway. But yeah, like I said, Alpha Trion is one of those characters I obsessed about. I don't know, I might do a separate video on Alpha Trion, just kind of like, one of my next things coming up. But yeah, so this is a good figure. This is a great figure. It's got its problems, this, that, and the other thing, but I don't hate it. Like I said, I wish, again, I know I said this earlier in the video, I like a clean version where this is all like he was before the ambush in the cave. I think that'd be great. That's something I kind of like really want. Like I would buy that, and that would be I would swap him in for my original 13's primes. Um, yeah, there's a reason. Like in my head canon, there's a reason how he would go from something like this to this to this, and I haven't fleshed that all out. That's why I do a video, kind of like my take on the character. It might be interesting. It might be fun for me. Maybe not so much for you. I'll try to make it interesting. But that's it for now. I think my next video might be a comparison video between all the different Thundercrackers. I'm not sure. I'm fleshing that out in my head. That'll either get filmed today or sometime this week. All right, so this is Xeric Prime from the Atomic Playground signing off, and I hope everyone weathered the storm figuratively and literally from yesterday. This is the day after Snowmageddon. It is January the 26th, and thanks for watching. If you got this far, I appreciate you. Thanks a lot, and I will. Yeah. Okay. Bye. I'm out.